Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my opinions and the community's opinions on what we want changed and fixed for Fallout 76. I had originally planned on doing this video a long time ago. It's been sitting in limbo in my notes for a very long time, but I finally got the energy to sit down and kind of make a comprehensive video regarding all this. So my other kind of secret hope with this is that you guys will leave your opinions in the comments below, and I can continue to make videos about this, discussing what the players in the community would like to have changed in, well, one of their favorite games. So, with all that being said, I'm going to zoom out a little bit now and show you the structure that I have for this video. I didn't really want this to be too ranty like my videos typically are. I wanted there to be a little bit of structure. So, over here, my chalkboards, I have notes of some of the points that I want to talk about. So, number one, 1 through 6 are going to be things that I'm talking about, my own opinions and things that I want changed and fixed in Fallout. And then number 7, once we get to the bottom there, I'm going to be going over some of your opinions, the community's opinions, my subscribers' opinions on what they would like to be changed in Fallout 76. And of course, if you have your own ones that I haven't talked about in the video or maybe forgot to, please leave those in the comments below, because then we can continue making videos about this, and hopefully Bethesda will maybe shine a little bit of light on it, and they will actually do something about them. So, one last thing I do want to say before I get into this is, number 1, these are in no particular order of urgency or whatever. They're kind of just random, and you'll notice that as we go through here. Some of them will be kind of stupid, and other ones will be kind of serious. And the other thing I do have to say is that although I do have my grievances with Bethesda, I do understand that they have a business and a company to run, and they have a bunch of other projects and stuff like that, so we do have to give them the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day. But with all that being said, let's talk about this. And point number 1 that I do have is going to be about apparel, and I'm actually going to have to stand up for this one because I was very upset recently. I went to go throw on one of my favorite outfit combinations, and I realized that I could not do that anymore, and I was wondering why. So, if I go to my apparel tab here, you'll notice I have the Radicals face mask, the tattered field jacket, and then what I like to do is put on the wrapped cap as well, but you can no longer do that, so I'll show you what I mean. This is one of my favorite outfit combinations here. I mean, they obviously go together, but this is the tattered field jacket and the wrapped cap. And what you used to be able to do is you could mesh the, where is it now? The Radicals face mask with the wrapped cap, and it would kind of there were like spikes poking out of the top and like a little baseball cap brim poking out. It looked awesome. I mean, if you guys go way back in my channel, I'm sure you can find like a picture or a video of me wearing the full complete meshed outfit. But the kind of overarching thing that I have with this is I really wish that you would be able to kind of customize clothes however you wanted to. Not saying, the color and all that, but you should be able to combine whatever kind of clothes you want as long as it makes sense. I know that there was a combination a while back I used to use, and a lot of other people used to use, with the one of the scout masks and the medical goggles, and it kind of looked like a clone trooper. It was really awesome, and I feel like, given the Atomic Shop is completely controlled by Bethesda, this would be something nice for the players to kind of control a little bit on how their player looks. And on top of that, it's not really asking too much. I mean, obviously it was something that was already in the game for a little bit, but you should be able to use any and all headwear and outfits in whatever combination you want without, one of them blocking the other or one of them instructing. I don't know. But that is one thing that kind of made me upset when I figured that they took it out. I mean, it's one thing if you kind of leave it in and have like this thing, some things can mesh and some things can't. But when you mess up the whole thing, it just didn't really make sense to me. Why would you take that out? It was such a perfect thing. Anyways, moving on, and I'm going to keep this outfit on. I don't really care that much. But speaking of the Wildwood Tavern, since we're here, that is the next thing we're going to talk about, is the Wildwood Tavern. Now, my Wildwood Tavern, for some reason, and I believe that this works, or this doesn't work with other players, whenever it gets damaged, or like when I have Scorched or robots, maybe I'm AFK and I'm sitting here and they just repeatedly shoot my base and it gets destroyed, you cannot go and fix it. Now, I wish that I had the example to show you, but obviously, why would I want my camp to be destroyed 24/7? I obviously had to fix it. But basically what happens is, there's holes in the wall and this whole thing falls apart, and you cannot repair it unless somebody else comes to your camp and destroys it completely, or you destroy it completely. Very, very aggravating. It's not like You can have an enemy come up and then just walk over to your camp module and press Y and fix it. For some reason, it just doesn't work with the Wildwood Tavern, which begs the question, are there other camp items and other prefabs that have this same issue? I haven't experienced it as long as I can remember with other prefabs, but it is almost a weekly thing with the Wildwood Tavern where I am stuck with it being completely destroyed and I have to like call in a friend or something to come help me and fix it. It is very, very annoying. If you guys do have any other examples of this, please let me know in the comments below. Obviously, if this is like a big problem with a bunch of prefabs, it would be very good for Bethesda to find out. And if you guys do share in this same Wildwood Tavern frustration that I do, please let me know as well. I want to know that I'm not alone in this world. But once again, it is very annoying not being able to fix your camp. Very, very frustrating. So, moving on, the next thing, and arguably one of the biggest, is going to be regarding gold bullion. And I did take a look at one of the comments in my community post, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but at least somebody else agrees with me. But the point I'm trying to make here is that they need to add more items for us to purchase with gold bullion. It has been too long now where Minerva has had nothing new in her inventory. Sometimes, you know, after an update or whatever, things will like one or two things will get added to some random, you know, gold bullion vendor. Like for example, if you didn't finish the summer camp event, the scrap rat or whatever it is, the mod for the backpack is going to be available for gold bullion. But they need to add a bunch of new stuff. And honestly, not even new stuff. They need to add the nuclear winter items like the ghillie suit and all those apparel items to the gold bullion loot pool like they said they were going to. God, almost a year and a half ago now. And man, I made a video on that I think a couple weeks ago too. But that is one of my biggest grievances. I've been sitting with max gold bullion for months now with nothing to spend it on. And listen, I don't have every gold bullion item, but I personally don't feel like having every gold bullion item. I want to be able to, you know, spend it what I want to spend it. I already have solar, I already have thorn, I already have the T65, all that best stuff in the game, but there needs to be more because at the end of the day, you know, we're kind of just sitting here doing the same old stuff, but that's a whole other can of worms. Anyways, biggest point I'm trying to make there, Bethesda, please add new stuff to Minerva's inventory. Please add the nuclear winter gold bullion items, and please add gold bullion or new gold bullion items as a whole for us to spend our hard-earned treasury notes and bullion on. Okay, that was a mouthful there. Let's see what else we have on the list here, and I guess I'll just kind of stay inside so I don't have to keep moving around. The next thing we do have here is guns, and I did put that there. Specifically what I want to talk about is pistols. I'm going to pull out one of my pistols right now and show you. Listen, I'm a big pistol guy, big cowboy guy, revolvers, I love them, but I am just not satisfied with the pistol selection that we have in this game. In my opinion, a lot of these pistols are pretty good, but like revolvers, the single shot, I mean, it's almost not even worth using unless you have a god roll. It is so slow, 6 bullets, come on. And the 10mm, which is my favorite pistol in the game, is great, but it's just a little bit kind of clunky, a little bit kind of large being on the screen. My dream is for there to be a 1911 or a 9mm, some kind of basic pistol that they could add to the game that would just be really fun to work with. Non-automatic, you know, maybe like an M9 or once again a 1911, just something like that. A pretty standard pistol for the game that you could actually have fun with. Now, there is the, what is it, the Brotherhood Blaster. Why is that name escaping me right now? I'm totally forgetting. You know, I actually have it in my Pip-Boy right now. Man, it's just like, yeah, right here. This is what I'm thinking of. Like, this one is pretty good. It's a good size, but I don't know. I would just prefer like a normal looking pistol as opposed to like a one that shoots, you know, fusion mags or the 10mm or whatever. Bottom line, I want there to be new pistols in this game, or at least one new semi-automatic pistol. All right. Moving on from that point, we're going to go to scrap, and what that means is new skin for the scrap box, or really any skin for the scrap box, please. You even have a skin for the newer ammo storage box, which you have right here. I think it's called the Patriotic skin, but to this day, there is no skin for the scrap box as far as I know, and I know that that is true. Let me see if I can actually scrap all my stuff while we're here. But there is no skin for the scrap box. I mean, come on. You got stuff in the Atomic Shop. I mean, I haven't even looked in there today. Let's see what we got here. For me to poke fun at some random item. You have a skin for the what do you call it? what the heck is this thing called? The assault rifle that looks identical to an already existing skin, but we have no skin for something that has been in the game and people use all the time. It makes no sense to me. At least add a little bit more customization to our camps by adding in some scrap box skins. Small point, but at least for me, it's kind of like, what the heck? You have a golden opportunity there to give us some really cool skins, and it's just not hitting. So I don't know. Maybe that's because of the Fallout First aspect of it. I don't know, but then why is the ammo? Whatever. Okay. Moving on, we did scrap. The biggest one that I am going to talk about here in this video is going to be trading. Now, obviously, the trading system in this game has effed over and plagued so many people that it's not even funny anymore. Not even funny the person's scamming, although it wasn't really funny to begin with. But anyways, what I am suggesting is a new way to trade in the game. Now, the ways that they have it right now are good. They're very decent, but the only downside is the human element. People, being bad people and scamming others. It's not cool. Not cool at all. So what I am suggesting is a new kind of trading system or place or menu. And what I have in my head, just really briefly, is a place or a menu where people can go in and they put their items into like a little cabinet almost, which makes it so it's kind of locked in there, but the opposite player can't take it. And once both players agree to the trade, then the items are dispensed. Something along those lines where both parties have to consent to what they're doing. There can be no miscommunication about it, and that way everybody comes out happy. And a little side note to that, what other games have trading systems that we can kind of look at and draw from and try to implement into Fallout 76? Because a really good and new trading system would not only make the market really awesome, not only prevent scamming, but it would also encourage trading and bolster the trading market. So it would work out for both parties, and what I mean by both parties is the players and Bethesda. It would give Bethesda, I don't really know what they'd get out of it, but there'd just be more action and more community and more trading in the game. And I think that the trading system, or at least a new trading system, is definitely needed for this game. If you're going to have a system where you can trade with players, you have to make sure that it's flawless and that there's no scamming going on. All right, moving on. That's all of my points. What we're going to do now is talk about how the community feels about changes and fixes in Fallout 76. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here because I'll be stationary for a little bit looking at my phone. But number one, first up on the chopping block, is a good friend of the channel and a great guy. You guys have to go check him out, Far Gassier. Now, Gassy, the absolute legend, says, I would love to see some new plans for Minerva for sure. I would love for them to put an identifier on rare, ultra rare drops. That way new players can have the knowledge. Gassy, I did not think about that at all. Well, the Minerva thing I obviously talked about. But the last thing there, that's super cool. And that is something that they should do. If you get let's say that you get the tattered field jacket that I'm wearing right now, which is a possibility of dropping from, I think, Savage Divide or Mire events. If you're level 17, you're going to think that this is some ratty old outfit. You're not going to care about it. You might even sell it to the train station vendor. That would be a massive mistake. This is one of the most valuable things in the entire game. Gassy, that is oh my gosh, that is a great point. Bethesda should make it so players know what kind of loot they're getting. Maybe some kind of I don't want to say another star system, maybe like some kind of color coding thing. I have no idea. But Gassy, once again, that is a great point, and be sure to go check his channel out, guys. Moving on here, another friend of the channel, this is Only Blue Rose. He says, I think these small changes can make a big difference. Changeable character names, traditional trading, private world player count increase, and fixing Minerva's inventory for nuclear winter items. All right, folks, well, it's already kind of apparent what the biggest thing we need change, and that is going to be new gold bullion items, new Minerva stuff. But Blue Rose makes some really awesome points here. I'm going to kind of elaborate on them. So, changeable character names, that would be very, very cool. So, what you could do is maybe, as opposed to having your gamer tag above your head, it could be like a unique name that you customize. Or maybe what he's trying to say here is being able to change it maybe halfway through your playthrough, something like that. But either way, that would be super cool. That would be a really good element for the role-playing community. They could put like Sergeant Major, whatever, something like that, and that could increase with ranks. That would be actually brilliant for the role-play community. Who am I kidding? Moving on, though, traditional trading. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Maybe just kind of a more bare bones way of trading, but I'm sure that everyone can agree that we do need some kind of new trading system. So moving on from that, private world player count increase is a great idea. That would be amazing. I mean, once again, especially for roleplay communities, but even at that, if you just have a big group of friends and you want to be in a server by yourself, maybe to make some kind of like big camp village or something like that, it would be great to have more than 8 people allowed in a server. And I know, especially for me, if I could do a thing where I could have maybe like 20, 30 people, like a full-size server in a private server, I could do so many things here on the channel, like, you know, like maybe like a fashion show kind of thing, or like a talent show, or like giveaways, all that kind of stuff, or like some kind of challenges with you guys, the subscribers, in the videos. That would be super, super cool. And theoretically, I could do that, but I would love to do those kinds of things on a bigger scale, definitely a bigger scale than just 8 people. So what else do we have here? Yes, and fixing Minerva's inventory for nuclear winter items. Small changes like this can make a big difference for a game like 76. Well, Blue Rose, thank you so much for your comments. Those are some great points. Moving on here, wow, another heavy hitter here on the channel, another great friend of the channel, Perceived Velocity. They say, there are a lot of things that need to be fixed in 76. Haha. It could probably be a 12-part series. Well, Velocity, I'm one step ahead of you there. That's kind of the purpose of making this video. Once again, guys, leave your comments, your grievances in the description below, and they'll be featured in, hopefully, another video like this. But moving on, I wish that they would fix all of the power armor bugs. I stopped using power armor because my character would freeze up when I climbed into it. It also drives me nuts that the armor repair station locks the player out half the time. I would completely agree with you on that, Velocity. Now, I'm not somebody that, you know, uses power armor all the time, but both of those things I can 100% identify with. There are plenty of times where, you know, I'm loading into Scorched Earth, or like I just fast travel and I need to get into my power armor, and I just get locked in, completely locked in. Like I hold A and then my whole screen basically freezes. I can hear stuff going on around me, but my player is locked in for, I mean, like almost like 2 minutes, it seems like. It's ridiculous. That is really, really annoying, and they should totally fix that. And something else I have noticed, honestly, with this camp, I can kind of give you a little bit of an example, but it's weird. The power armor station, depending which one you have and depending on which one it is, sometimes you can go into it, sometimes you can't. I've actually been in this exact spot, and I will like go into it and do all my stuff, and then I get stuck in like a little corner here. It is really annoying. Things should definitely be more flawless, especially with a crafting item, an item that people are going to be using practically every single day. That should definitely be fixed as well. Although I am a little biased because I don't particularly use power armor that much. But if you guys want to elaborate on maybe some more problems you have with power armor, once again, for like the 8th time now, please leave it in the comments below. All right, moving on. Thank you so much, Velocity. I really did like that. Really great friend of mine, Wastelord's Legends, comments, definitely would like a weapon revamp so that other weapons and builds could be useful, like sniper builds. I'm actually in the middle of making a video of the good and bad of Fallout 76. Hopefully the right people see our videos. And actually, I do have something that I wanted to say. So I did watch Wastelord's good and bad of Fallout 76, which is kind of similar to this, and I do want you guys to go check it out. He talks about definitely some different things that I'm talking about. But one thing that I did notice in his video is he talks about sniper rifles and how sniper rifles should be these really heavy hitting weapons, you know, like a 5-round magazine. Those bullets should be doing a lot of damage, but for the most part, they're pretty obsolete. Now, the one exception from that, I will say, is the lever action, but to me, the lever action is a rifle and a sniper rifle. You can kind of customize it either way. It does a lot of really good damage, but that is kind of my my odd one out in that category. But like the sniper rifle, the marksman sniper rifle, the combat sniper rifle, those should all be doing so much more damage, and it is aggravating that you can't. I mean, I know that there are plenty of people out there that would love to have a pure sniper build, stuff like that, and there are people that do have that, but with an actual sniper rifle like the bolt action, that would be super cool. And on top of that, we just talked about pistols and things we want to see, you know, some new weapons in the game. And at least in my opinion, I don't want to see like a junk launcher or another alien blaster or like some other electric melee weapon. I want to see some actual like guns, like actual Fallout guns that aren't like wacky or zany, or maybe some like new real, I don't know. But we definitely need some new weapons in this game that aren't wacky. So once again, I do want to say, please go check out Wastelord's video. It was really great. He makes some awesome points over there, and it would be a perfect tie-in if you do watch this video, or vice versa. All right. Moving on, and this is the last comment that I have on my community post. Green Hornet 3671 says, it's a little bit hard to read here. The Fallout First stash box bug with wards turn in item. Stash box with words. Okay. A little confused in that first sentence there, but I'm not sure what the stash box bug is, but I do know about the ward turn-in thing. If you guys know what I mean, when you go do, oh my gosh, I forget the name of it, but the quest that you do with Ward at Foundation, sometimes when you're walking up to him, or when you're delivering the item to finish the mission, he like won't talk to you. It's weird, and you have to like keep spamming A, or you have to listen through the entire dialogue just to get to the quest. It's really, really annoying, very, very aggravating. Sometimes you're standing there, excuse me, for like 2-3 minutes, and he just is not talking to you, not saying a word. That is really, really annoying. That would be, sorry, I got something in my throat here. Something I would love to see fixed, because that mission is one that players do every single day. And moving on, he has stuff kind of like, I think sarcastically crossed out here in the comments. He says, not having enough modules and rolling legendaries allow them to drop more often or easier to get a hold of. I would agree. I would totally agree. The modules, well, actually, I'm going to agree and disagree. I think that there could be a slight increase in the module count or obtainment or whatever in the game, but I do think that the way that it is right now is pretty fair. I think that you do have the opportunity to get plenty of modules every day when you're rolling weapons, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm sure people would disagree. They continue to say, increase camp budget. That's a given. Oh my gosh. They really need to increase the camp budget. Come on. It just makes no sense. That needs to increase, and the stash box thing needs to increase, because it doesn't make sense. Like, listen, guys, this does not follow logically. Why would you make an update where you add a crap ton of new stuff and then not increase the stash box limit? It makes no sense. You need to add new stuff and then add more space in the stash box, or else veteran players are going to be throwing out stuff that they actually need, or that, you know, is nostalgic to them. It just that really blows my mind. Like with the Blue Ridge update, I really thought they were going to add a little bit more stash box stuff, and they didn't. Maybe with another big update they will. Hopefully they will, because 1200 at the moment is not cutting it for a lot of people. Green Hornet continues by going on, make pets non-killable. That would be pretty good as well. Like if you have a Deathclaw or a Mega Sloth at your camp, those things are incredibly difficult to obtain. Make it so you can't kill them, and that way you don't have to go back out and do it again. Allow NPCs/companions into shelters. That would be cool. I haven't really experienced that much, or I don't really have a need for that too much, but I can understand, you know, shelter camp builders wanting to have people roaming around in their shelters. I totally get that. And then he says the last thing here, stop Scorch. Okay, folks. I have to say, this is probably the #1 thing that aggravates me in this game, and I find it hilarious that Green Hornet pointed this out. Stop Scorch from shooting you from 5 miles away and around corners with a pipe weapon. Oh my God, I despise it. I despise it. I mean, an example, for the past couple of weeks I've been making videos at this camp, and it seems like every time that I log in, a group of Scorch wander down this hallway, and I'm like inside or something, and they're shooting through walls with the pipe weapons, and I just hear outside like there's goddamn walkers out there. It is so annoying, like the insane accuracy that the Scorch have. Oh my God, Hornet! I am so glad you pointed that out. That is, I mean, I will say this: it's not really something that needs to be changed. I would say, because it kind of just makes sense. If an enemy sees you, they're gonna shoot at you. But man, those Scorch are so annoying, dude. I absolutely hate them. And you know what? You know whose fault it is? It's the Enclave's fault. They brought the Scorch Plague here, so you can point all your fingers not to Bethesda, but to the Enclave. So how about that? All right. Okay, enough ranting and raving. I'm going to make sure that I got everything here. But yeah, that seems like all of the comments on my community post. That is definitely all of my opinions. The last thing I'm going to do here is get back into character, throw my what are the snappy duds back on. That's the word I'm looking for. What do we have here? Black eye patch, dodges ghillie suit, and I think that we are back in business. So folks, oh, I'm missing something. Hold on. There we go. All right. Sorry for the confusion there at the end, but guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this was my opinion and the community's opinion on things that need to be changed and fixed in Fallout 76. Definitely a more discussion type video, but that is kind of the point of it. I would love if you guys leave your reactions, your opinions on what needs to be changed and fixed in Fallout 76 in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I have a video that already came out today talking about what is going on this week in Fallout 76, if you guys are curious about the news. And then obviously tomorrow there should be some new videos on my channel talking about the things that were added to the Atomic Shop. So once again and finally, thank you so much for watching. My name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.